Hey folks, this is Brian with another RQG Chronicles campaign review. We just finished up playing. We had to quit a little early. One of my players had been up since like 5:30, so had a very long day, and he just was not holding on. And we had some spirit things that we'll get to in the session. Excuse me. That he was kind of, running, and so we just stopped it just before combat begins, kind of thing. Cliffhanger. So anyway, the one of my players was playing an Isseries merchant, who the player felt that the character would not continue with this, going down this path of this death temple and all this other stuff. I never got around to really asking why he felt that way, because there are plenty of Isseries merchants out there that are combat oriented enough to take care of themselves and all that kind of stuff. His concept was more of a harmony kind of person, which is fine. It certainly is helpful for a number of things. And I may have mentioned this I did in my previous video, 31.5, with the character creation. So if you watch that one, you'll know that he's an Orlanthe, a light infantryman now, which fits in fine with the whole campaign, because the party just picked up a detachment of Orlanthe's Orlanthe infantrymen to set up a base camp to give them a safe place to flee to if they need to. Someplace they can keep their horses, have to worry about those kinds of things. I have not been rolling for trolls wandering through with the horses out in the woods, but c'est la vie. So I just had him part of that debt. In doing so, though, I still want to have an actual initiate with the lay members at the base camp. So he's like the debt commander, and he's got an XO. And the XO is also initiate, and he's got what, four? I think it's four Orlanthe militia to help defend the area. So they take off from Whitewall. They head to Dar's Rest, spend the night there. The next day, they head out and they decide to make camp outside of the Troll Woods. Around the edge though, so it's in the hilly lands, forest on one side. You find a nice place near the river. That way, when the party is departing the temple, all they do is head towards the river and just follow the river down, and they'll end up hitting the camp. Well, they're set up camp, have them make some scan rolls. A couple of them make it. One got a special. So they notice on the crest of a hill north of them are some mounted soldiers. The guy who got special says there's about half a dozen of them. One of the other party members has Farsi, so he bumps out. I think we did a Farsi 3. I figured it was a decent amount to get the distance up close enough so we actually do some really just looking around at them. And had to make a luck roll to see if he knew anything about Grazelanders, because this was a Grazelander war party, is how it came across in the Sartar companion campaign thing, the Hero Quest thing, right? Which I use for my random encounters out here because it's the only thing I've got. And I've come to realize that these encounters are number-wise just too expansive for a party. And so I, adjust them and play with them now. I didn't with that Trollkin encounter, which was essentially an infinite number of Trollkin. And then the troll war party with the great troll and all these other dark trolls and stuff going, it's a bit much for the party. So I've tucked that back in, so I'm starting to adjust things a little bit or so. Instead of there being 7 cavalry guys plus 2 leaders, I took 1 leader and 3 cavalry guys. There's just 4 of them up there. And, they're out raiding, essentially, looking for slaves and that kind of thing. Pretty far south, but hey, we're going to get people. I mean, Whitewall has been run down from the lunar occupation and stuff, so there's very little, it's a fairly lawless area. So hey, find out about that. Gets through, Beast Valley, and they're down in here somewhere looking around. They're raiding, looking for slaves, that kind of thing. So, but there's only like 4 or 5 of them, right? But there's 5 plus 5, like 10 in the party now with the Orlanthi dead, and so they're looking, going, let's just skirt these guys. What do you think? But the party are vacillating back and forth between, let's go and attack and kill them, and well, maybe they're not hostile. We should just talk to them and make some rolls, that kind of thing. What are you going to, what would be they asked me, what would be a proper, Grayslander. The luck roll was there. He knew they're Grayslanders. He could see the golden eye, heavy cavalry mounts that they're riding on, and one guy's got a heavy scale hauberk, and they are not lunars. They don't have any lunar paraphernalia. So they decide just to be friendly. The party decides just to be friendly. The guy says, just raise the hand up, weapon hand open. Another guy waves, and they try to make friendly overtures to them. Made a roll. They respond. They come down. And even in the write-up in the book, it talks about, they may not always just play attack. They can always be hired as mercenaries for whatever reason, for what you need help with, or that kind of stuff, right? So they come down, and just there's a small little chit chat back and forth using trade talk. They say they're down here for a scouting mission. No real exchange of information, just pleasantries pretty much. And the party does mention about the Death Temple, and I invented a little, Yelmish, 4 points of the cross kind of thing, with a rising sun and looking to the sky kind of thing. Death temples, that's bad stuff, that kind of thing. But they need to go about their mission, scouting about. They don't have time to help the party do whatever they're doing, and so they part on amicable terms. Cavalry guys take off. They'll get a chance to discuss a little bit, not discuss, but share. These are huge horses, golden. First, the right word. Golden colored with the right mane, that kind of stuff. They're huge and that kind of thing. So it's kind of interesting to learn some more. But they make camp that night. No encounters. The next day, the party takes off with Otto, who's the new player, who was the captain of the dead. He went with the players. He's the one who's got the 2 spirit storage crystals that have the 2 Orlanthi spirits in them to help the party defeat the spirits in the temple, to bound spirits that they know of in the temple. So, and there's some talking through. There's no encounters on the way there or at the temple site itself. We talk through going through. We get to the round room. That's where we actually start doing some melee kind of stuff. Restra, the Babista Gore, heavy cavalry woman, heavy infantry woman. The door is actually open. It was pretty much left, pretty much the way they were there, except there are some bodies out in front, but inside, and I'll get this later, I guess. One of the bodies that should have been there is not. It's gone. So she's looking through, doesn't see anything. Guy behind her with the lantern. She opens up the door fully, and as soon as it comes open, the curtain is parted on the statue. The statue sees her, does his last room point of fear spell, and she's demoralized. So she backs up and gets out of the way. And we talk about through, hey, this is a rune spell. This dark black magic rune thing comes flying at her, bashes into her. She's demoralized and backs up out of the way. At that, the Orlanthi infantryman moves in. Otto, he moves in. Lars follows through. 2 of them, they open the door, put the lantern down, step off to the side. Get ready to fight whatever may be in there. Subutais, keep an eye down the passageway. Well, they never look the other way. There's a door over there, guys. They never look down the other end of the hallway. Anyway, so they're looking down there. The light, because it went into the room, cuts down quite a bit. Angrelar goes over to help shake Arestra out of her demoralization. It doesn't work, obviously. But she is going to do meditation, try to get herself out. She invokes stasis room because she's determined. She wanted to run with honor on this thing, like it's dishonorable to be demoralized. Yes, it is. It's dishonorable to be demoralized. If you're demoralized, you're being dishonorable. Your honor is not going to really necessarily boost that up. But I would, using that venue, this kind of thinking, a stasis rune would make sense to me for that. So she rolled her stasis. She got a critical, in fact. So she got a plus 50 plus a check mark, and made her meditation roll on top of that. So next round she's back into the fight. Not that really a fight, but as soon as as soon as Otto went in, he let loose one of the spirits. Spirit moves in to attack the spirit that's in the statue. Lars turns on his Blade Sharp 2. There's some discussion on, can we attack the spirit with magical weapons? And obviously you can. However, this spirit is bound to an object. And if you try to attack it, you're going to be hitting the stone statue, and you don't necessarily want to be doing that to your sword. So the spirit do its thing. Spirit's got 5 rune points. I let it cast 2 points for spirit block, which is 4 points of spirit screen. And it engages in spirit-to-spirit combat. Otto's player plays the spirit, so he's rolling for that, and I'm rolling for the other spirit. And first, we're both specials. It was a tie. They do some kind of damage, but the damage that the darkness spirit did to the Orlanthe spirit didn't get through the spirit block. And they did this, not a lot, but did damage right to the darkness spirit. Next round is both successes. Those in their tie. The Orlanthe spirit does a lot of damage to the darkness spirit. The darkness spirit does max rolls a 6, only does a d6 of spirit damage to the Orlanthe spirit, so that ended up doing 2 points of damage to it. Still nothing, right? These were above average spirits. I did that on purpose. I also re-rolled ones because they're not going to send any even weak spirits, even though they are 46 plus 6 power, and then 3d6 plus 3 intelligence or charisma, something like that. But so they actually both turned out to be 22 points. They both had 22 power each, and then one had 11 charisma, the other one had 8. I don't know why the charismas are so high, but see how I mean. So, and then the third round of spirit combat, the darkness spirit missed, and the Orlanthe spirit critted. That took the darkness spirit out. Well, while that's going on, they're looking around, make sure there's nobody else in here. There's not. Lars and Arestra are pulling the curtains that were protecting the statue, pulling them down. Otto and Angrelar are investigating the wall sconces on the edges of the room, and these are dark lights. So oil lantern kind of in a sconce thing is a cone cylinder kind of a lantern, in a sconce. So it's got a reservoir of oil. That's the big thing. It's got a couple days of oil in there. But you get up to it, it's giving off heat because it's lit. So they put it out, and they use the lantern to. Well, Angrelar took the lantern, lit the other one. Then Otto goes over with that, so they light 2 sconces, and they've got their lantern. And then Angrelar is replacing the relit lamps back in the sconces. Spirit's gone. Party comes out. Um, Subutai was out in the hallway earlier, scanning down, listening. He heard the river, but I couldn't really tell him it was the river. He made it special, so he heard something. That tinkling, murmuring kind of sound in the background kind of thing. The rest of the party comes out. They start heading down the hallway towards where Subutai and the other hunter had been tied up to the altar. And Angular is doing more switching because there's two dark lights out in front of the circular room, and so he does a little light and switch, out light switch, out light switch kind of thing, and then catches up to the party. They go around the corner, and they can tell that they're on like a platform kind of thing, and describe the altar where it's got that divot for the head, and the eyelet bolts and chain links and manacles, and that drops off into darkness on their side. There's some discussion on how far do we want to go, because we don't want to start exploring again. We want to finish the spirits. And but whoever had discussed that, really all they want to do is just go to the edge. So go to the edge. It's dark. You can't see the bottom. They throw a rock over there that falls. Somebody asks how far. Can you really tell? Well, it was the Lanker my guy asking, so maybe you could. So I give him a rough ball. It's in that water splash when he's around. So they go back and they decide. Oh, they went back to the circular room, because there was that place in the floor where all the water seeped through and went away. So they start investigating that. A couple of guys make their search rolls, and they find you can peel the tiles up, and there's a chute hole straight down. Rough cut, so you could probably, if you're very, very careful, finger and toe holes kind of thing to climb up and down, but there's no rope ladder, no rungs, nothing like that. How far down is it? Well, they break off a piece of tile and drop it half as far, so like 40 feet, but it hits the floor. They were expecting it to water, but it didn't. So from there, they decide, okay, we need to get rid of their spirit, cleanse the temple, right? Before they do any more investigation or whatever it is they're going to try and do next. And so they head back to the other temple. And when they get there, there's a curtains. They start pulling them down. Take your time. Don't worry about it. Just pull down. It takes time to do that. I didn't think about it afterwards, until afterwards, that when they start pulling down the second set of curtains, the spirit guarding that section of the temple probably should have attacked. The description says they attack anybody who's not a priest of sorry, Thanatar, who's not a priest of Thanatar, who enters the area. There's a spirit that attacks him, and it's a dang tough spirit too. Holy cow! I didn't realize exactly how tough that was, but it is. And I've gone back through and rewritten that this is not just that spirit, the spirit's there, but that this is the whiter. So the whiter's got certain powers and capabilities itself, even though it's not very strong. So they're going to have to deal with a much harder situation than I was thinking initially. Plus, the spirit that's guarding the area can summon other spirits to do things. They're all darkness oriented. They can be shades and all kinds of stuff if they need to. So the party decides to send both spirits and tear this thing down, because essentially you can have an infinite number of spirits attacking somebody or something because they don't take any physical space. So they send the two spirits out, but as soon as those spirits crossed the line where the curtain was, I had the defensive spirit come out and jump on them. That's where we ended. The player who's in charge of the spirits, he was, like I said, he was up early this morning, so he was out. He was having a hard time just staying awake, and it was past 11 at this point, which isn't too bad of a game. We started at like 8:30. We were really rolling around 9, a good 2 hours. Not too bad. So that's where we stopped. before the initiation of spirit combat that is going to be pulling teeth out. So the one spirit block will still be up. I'm concerned that 2 points are not going to be enough. This is really going to hurt. So I'm going to have to look up because I think I don't know if you can boost the rune spells you've already cast. Does that make sense? He's got 2 points of spirit block up. He's got 3 more rune points, so he could cast spirit block 3. But couldn't he just boost his 2 with those other ones if he needed to? My gut is saying yes. My brain is saying no. I'll have to look up and see if I can find if there's anything written about it. And then the other one has got Spirit Block. Also has, the other one actually has Spirit Screen as well. 5 points of Spirit Screen. He wants to use some of his magic points for that, but he probably don't want to be doing that, especially against this thing. It is tough. And if it's not able to tear these guys up right away, and since the Spirit came out, the party's going to attack the Spirit with magic, trying to take it down. It's going to start defending itself by pulling in these other spirits that can summon, the shades and stuff to wreck on the party. It's going to be harsh. That's how we'll start the next session. Happy gaming.